Good afternoon, everyone. Kalla here. Welcome to my live stream. Glad you could make it today. So, today we have more of the real face of a Vtuber. Last time we successfully accused Sophia Lior of the murder. But I'm not entirely sure it's her, or at the very least, not just her. I mean, obviously, it clearly isn't the right answer because we have not reached the truth yet. Hello, Drag. How you doing? Yeah, I don't know if this is our last run either. Certainly gonna learn some truths. Our prosecutor here has clearly figured it out, and I'm not 100% certain. There's something weird going on, and that's for sure. I feel like there is more than one person involved here. And whether it's more than one person doing the actual murdering, or whether there's a bunch of people trying to cover for the person who did the actual murder. Yeah, something to do with the cat. The fact that he's so focused on the cat makes me think it might be Misty. And I mean, Misty does make sense in some ways. Like, I mean, the real murder weapon was found in the rubbish area for Misty and Prudence's apartment complex. However, the dagger was left there by Sophie, or someone who looked like Sophie. The person who did the murdering seems to have to have been Misty or Prudence, or someone who had, or someone else who had recently been around a cat. We don't know if this cat hair is specifically from Misty's missing cat, which she may have abandoned herself, which is really fucking suspicious. Essentially, the only people that we know it isn't for sure. It can't be Faye. We established that last time. While she is extremely weird, her alibis put her way further away from the murder and all of its shit than could be reasonably possible for her to be the murderer. Can't we check the cat hair now the cat's wandered into the office? I'm not sure if the cat that we heard from the prosecutor's office is the same cat. Or just a cat that made Justin Truth go, cat. But yeah, I'm also pretty darn certain that neither Amanda or Honor are actually murderers. So we're essentially down to these three. And I guess realistically speaking, we've successfully accused Prudence once, and then she turned up dead. We've successfully accused Sophie once. Maybe it is Misty. Or maybe it's all of them. Maybe it's all of them working together. Or maybe, as I said last time, somehow it is Kuripa herself. But I think that's enough of that, right? Also, how am I? Still a little warmer than I would like to be. But it's definitely getting back to reasonable temperatures. The virus escapes the screen and becomes a deadly poison. Yeah, the thing is, we have that thing she said. Actually, I'm gonna go watch that stream with the parable in it again. Where's my notepaper from back then? There we go. I want to see the parable again. A long, long time ago, there was a super adorable and cute virus. Her name was Curry. I would like to watch this bit in full. Curry lived in a big, big place. It was way too big and made Curry super duper bored. But she could clone herself. This is the part that's bothering me. Sleepy Ever Tired, which we've been told is Mr. C. Doc the Genius, we've been told is Misty. Dopey the Dum Dum, which we've been told is Amanda. Sneezy the Sneezer, Sophie. Bashful the Shy One being Prudence. Grumpy the Crankster being Honor. And Happy Always Smiling being Faye. Oh, we were told... Faye was like, Faye said something about protecting someone and that we should know who that is. Didn't Faye tell Misty she loved her? Wasn't that a thing? Cody would have so much fun with them every day. Then one day they all found a treasure map. It was implied to us that the treasure map is related to the truth. Or the treasure is related to the truth. Let's go find the treasure, says Curry. Sleepy fell asleep, that's because he's dead. Doc said, let me handle it, and took Bashful's hand. This implies to me, if this is related at all, which we're making assumptions in that regard anyway, that, like, even if Misty didn't do it, she's involved. Sneezy stuck close behind. Yep, those three together. Dopey and Grumpy were so excited. Happy was dancing a waltz all by themselves. I mean, Faye was nowhere near, so maybe that's something. Then an evil hunter appeared, that's me. Bang, they shot Sneezy. Oh no, someone's been infected. There's been a time bomb planted among them. The real enemy was a big scary virus monster. Which was Curry. Doc let go of Bashful's hand and ran away with Sneezy. Dopey and Grumpy started freaking out. Happy was still dancing. Just as no one knew what to do, boom, the time bomb went off and everyone got blown to smithereens, and Curry was the only one left. I mean, that actually genuinely doesn't change my theories. The parable fits rather well with my theories on who's involved and who isn't. So that doesn't actually help. Hooray. Okay. Anyway, we gained this extra button here. That's a gradient darkened Kuripo with a question mark over it. Which I'm pretty sure is the button we need to press. Who is the real face? Before the hearing, there's one more thing to clear up. The real face we know is Prudence. Or at least we think we know is Prudence. So, Prudence. The evidence that Prudence is the real face... So we have evidence proving that she's the real face, and evidence that proves that the real face had an accomplice. Okay. So the evidence about her being the real face is... not that one. This one. It's this picture, I'm pretty sure. And the evidence proving that the real face had an accomplice. Is it the remote access records where there's two users? I think that one. I'm sure we'll be told if we're wrong. Nope, that doesn't make sense. Okay. Okay. We need the right stuff. Right, Prudence is the real face. And we know she's the real face. Because of the image here. We also know she's the real face because we've been there and found it out, but we can't include time travel in our deposition to court. The evidence that the real face had an accomplice. Unfortunately, we don't have the image of Sophie planting the thing. What's the evidence of the accomplice? I don't know. Maybe I need help again. All right. Hello, irrelevant. I would like to know about this timeline here. This one. Who's the real face? Curva's real face is Prudence, yes. Evidence. Okay, evidence alibi 3 and supporting evidence abandoned cat. Okay. Fine. Oh, I guess it's going to be that she's the only one that didn't have an alibi, isn't she? Yeah. I guess that's why that's the evidence. But the evidence of the accomplice is the abandoned cat. I mean, I guess that sets up an alibi for Prudence, I suppose. What is about to begin? Now what? I'm so nervous. Yeah, me too. Hold my hand. We'll do that again. You'll feel better if I hold your hand? Then, of course I will. Sorry, I didn't think you'd really hold it. Eh? Well, if you're not nervous anymore, I don't even want to hold it. Yeah, it's the same going into the second court day thing. We just have different people. Jerk? Thanks, I'm not that nervous anymore. Then, that's good. Anyway, we definitely have enough evidence this time. This killer has taken things far enough. We must catch them and bring them to justice. Hearing that makes me feel a little better. I'll try my best too. We've got this. When I was going to the bathroom, I bumped into Sophie. Wait, do we still have Sophie on defendant duties? Okay. I shouldn't have seen her before the trial. So things were a little awkward. suddenly covered in a cold sweat. I'd never seen that look in her eyes before. I thought that maybe I'd never really seen her true self before. And I also thought that maybe I've made the right decision. Who was the— oh, this was— wait, no? We haven't seen this person yet, right, have we? No, because the time travel girl and the neighbor of honor are the same person, so. Oh, hey, it's you again. You're very close to the end now. I'm here to remind you of a few things, just so you don't get frustrated. I mean, we're beyond that point already, but... in a moment, you'll see a familiar scene. This isn't a glitch in the Matrix. I want you to consider why you're being shown this scene again. Then, when the time is right, all will be revealed. I'll see you at the end. Okay, so this is our last time in court then. This court will now convene with the matter of the death of Lillian Entertainment's CEO, Mr. C. Counsel, please be seated. Counsel for the prosecution and the defense, are you ready to proceed? Yes, Your Honor. The defense is ready. Very well. Both sides may state their position. This is a murder only someone familiar with the victim could commit. The killer understood the officer's security system, deleted all related messages, and left behind very few tracks. But with the help of the police, we were able to uncover two very important pieces of evidence: the killer's motive and their connection with the murder weapon. We do have evidence linking Sophie with the murder weapon. And evidence of Sophie's motive, if that's what we're going for here. The prosecution will present all relevant evidence to explain how this carefully planned murder was carried out. Can we really convict someone of a murder through simple deduction alone? The prosecution's explanation of how the murder was carried out flies directly in the face of Ms. Lior's actions. If the prosecution's evidence can't surpass reasonable doubt, then the defense can only continue to support Ms. Lior's innocence. The defense will enumerate one by one each flaw in the prosecution's statement. Very well, I've heard both sides' statements. May the first witness take the stand. Please state your name and occupation. Zelda Hoss, detective with the 4th Criminal Investigation Division. I'd like to present evidence number 47. Who is this? This is Owen Green. As per our investigation, he's a college student. What's his relationship to the defendant? We learned from his socials that he's Miss Lior's boyfriend. So basically, I guess we're going to be going through a lot of what we did when we accused Sophie before. Objection. Speculation. Objection. There's a reason we didn't summon him to the stand, which we'll explain in due time. Did the court receive our application? Yes, I did receive that application. Please continue, witness. We've already confirmed with Ms. Lior the identity of her boyfriend. Do you have proof this person is relevant to the case? Fine. Leading question. Why were you investigating Mr. Green? At one point, we expanded our search around Sophia Leo's apartment building. On the night of the murder, at 8:47, 8:56, and 9:22 p.m., Mr. Green was caught on CCTV. Judging from what happened before and after, it's very possible that Mr. Green went to Miss Leo's apartment. Does any other evidence suggest they met each other that night? Yes, we dusted for prints around Miss Leo's apartment and found some of Mr. Green's. His prints, along with Miss Leo's, were found on the emergency staircase railings. We hypothesized that the two of them spent a considerable amount of time on that staircase, maybe just hanging out and chatting. Have you tried contacting him? We can't find him. His contact information is all fake, and he rarely posts about his whereabouts. After some snooping, we found out his family is in considerable debt. And we confirmed that debt with Miss Leo, but she wouldn't tell us anything more about him. Let's review the defendant's movements that night. Hello, Nick. How you doing? At 9:02 p.m, Miss Leo walked to her elevator, then mysteriously walked back to her apartment without ever getting on. Then we found her and her boyfriend's fingerprints all around the emergency staircase. Comparing that to when Mr. Green was caught on camera, it's very possible the two of them met up on the night of the murder. And that'll be all, Your Honor. Very well. I understand the prosecution's statement. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. I can imagine it's hard to catch up on work on a non-work day, right? But sometimes it's necessary. The defense waives their right to cross-examine, Your Honor. The prosecution has grabbed someone unrelated to this case in hopes of muddling up our already muddled perceptions. Thankfully, my next witness will help clear all of this up. Okay, very well. Please bring them to the stand. Please state your name and occupation. I'm Sophia Lear, talent manager at Lillian Entertainment. The prosecution just mentioned a Mr. Owen Green. Do you know this man? Yes. Mind telling us who he is? My boyfriend. Did you see this person on April 20th? Yes. We saw each other on the emergency staircase outside my apartment a little after 9 p.m. And does your boyfriend have anything to do with the murder of Mr. C? Objection leading question. Why keep this a secret until now? My boyfriend's family has gotten into some trouble lately. He doesn't want anyone to know where he is, so I didn't say anything. I don't think he has anything to do with this case. Oh. I forgot that I was supposed to, I forgot that it's not just the defense I'm supposed to be objecting to. Speculation! Objection sustained. The witness need not answer. I mean, they weren't answering. What did you talk about on the staircase? He told me his family owes money, and they're being harassed by debt collectors. He said we probably wouldn't be able to see each other for a while. He wanted to see me one more time before he went into hiding. He said he'd be fine and that I shouldn't worry about him. What did you do once he left? I went back to my room and kept working. Did you go out anywhere else on the night of April 20th? No. I was really busy, so I stayed home working. I didn't go anywhere else. Liar. Thank you. As we can see, this boyfriend the prosecution dug up has nothing to do with Mr. C's murder. That'll be all, Your Honor. Very well. Would the prosecution like to cross-examine the witness? Absolutely. Yes, I'd like to cross-examine. Very well. Whenever you're ready. Press on the work she was doing. After Mr. Green left, you went back to your room to work? Yes, I was very busy. And by work, you mean... Wait, I can't talk about work, she can't answer. How long did you keep working that night? Until around 2 AM. Okay, got it. We definitely had some evidence, at least last time, that she definitely didn't go back to her room, right? I thought we did anyway. No. I thought we had something. Well, I guess that's actually with her boyfriend, isn't it? Maybe not. Okay. Can you describe in more detail what you talked about? His dad's factory went under and they owed a lot of money. So they're running away from debt collectors. How did that make you feel? I felt really bad for him. It's not like he personally owed the money, it was his dad's fault. But it didn't seem to get him down, he was facing it head on. Still, it was hard for me to watch. What's your relationship with Mr. Green like? It's pretty close. I like him. So if you could help him, you would? What do you want me to say? Listen, I'll be direct. Mr. C's death and Owen's debt have nothing to do with each other. And there's nothing I could do to help his family, even if I wanted to. Killing Mr. C wouldn't have reduced their debt in any way, are you sure? Boop. That was the thing. Presenting evidence number 14. Let us look back for a moment. The defendant and the victim were a couple at one point, weren't they? The victim also listed the defendant as a beneficiary on his life insurance policy. Now, if the defendant were to receive a payout in the case of Mr. C's death, then she could theoretically help her boyfriend's family pay their debt. Is there any other meaning? He's my boyfriend! You asked whether or not I wanted to help him. Well, of course I do. Am I supposed to say I don't want to help him? I just wanted to confirm it with you. That doesn't mean I planned on paying off his family's debt, okay? Calm down. Please control your emotions, Miss Allure. Yeah, please control your emotions. We don't want you having a heart attack on the stand again. Why do I have to do anything? He's the one harassing me. Please give a closing statement, Mr. Truth. Okay. The defendant was a benefactor on the victim's life insurance, which means she would receive a payout in the event of his death. Her boyfriend's family is also in debt. That'll be all, Your Honor. I mean, yeah, we're definitely getting a heart attack on the stand again. Very well, I understand. Now then, who's the next witness? My next witness will help me explain the defendant's motive. Very well, please bring them to the stand. Please state your name and occupation. I'm Honor Chen, digital modeler. Where were you on April 18th? I went to the office for a bit around 6 p.m. Was anyone else there? Mr. C and Sophie Allure. I heard them having a very intense conversation in the meeting room. I didn't see them, and I don't think they knew I was there. Please tell us what you heard. I just heard them talking about our first quarter budget. Sophie was blaming Mr. C for spending too much money on my daughter, specifically that her new outfit cost way too much, with too many unnecessary expressions. And I'm going to try not to rehash my entire issue with this entire plot point. Which is just like, why, if the VTuber's mama and papa are employees at the same company, does it cost extra money to do the things? But Mr. C said it was worth it to expand the possibilities of her streams or something. Sophie just said she'd never used those new expressions and it was a waste to spend that much money on them. I think Mr. C wanted to keep talking, but Sophie just shut the conversation down, saying he'd better not spend that much next time. Was there anything particularly noteworthy you remember? There was just something off about the whole thing. I guess you would say they were arguing, but Sophie was really calm about the whole thing. Then, when I was just about to leave, Sophie said something that stuck in my mind. It's fine, this was the last time anyway. I heard her say that. The defendant and victim had differing views on how to spend the company budget. Just before she left, the defendant said this was the last time anyway. How would she have known it really would be the last time? These are things we need to find out. What a joke! So I work hard and suddenly that makes me a murderer? Can't you object or something? I think you need to calm down. Why should I calm down? Can't you see the prosecutor's whole statement is completely illogical? Why should I sit here and let myself be called a murderer for such a stupid reason? You know, for a defense attorney, you're pretty crap at defending. Maybe I should find someone else if you're just going to stay silent. I'm staying silent because the prosecution's statement is full of holes. Now, since you obviously know nothing about being a defense attorney, would you kindly shut your mouth? Order in the court. Please maintain a modicum of professionalism, Ms. Dunn. and refrain from engaging in shouting matches with the defendant. Very sorry, Your Honor. Ms. Lior, arguing with your attorney will hurt your chances for a favourable outcome. Please keep calm, abide by our rules, and try to work together with Ms. Dunn. As if there's any point. If you have an issue with the prosecution's statement, please voice that opinion properly when it's your turn to do so. Okay. Now, will the defendant cross-examine... Now, will the defense cross-examine the witness? The defense waives their rights to cross-examine, Your Honor. Oh yeah? That's how it is? Trust your client? What a joke! I can't rely on anyone but myself. Get it now, I totally get it. Please calm down, Miss Lior. Sorry. I'll calm down and play nice. Then may the defense bring their next witness to the stand. Please state your name and occupation. I'm Sophia Lior, talent manager. Did you go to the office April 18th? Yeah, I went there to teach our boss a lesson. You mean you disagreed with your boss on the way the company was being run? Leading question. What were you arguing with Mr. C about? Him spending too much money. Carrie's new outfit went way over budget. Too much on cover songs too. And the money we spend on curry for the first quarter went 3 times over budget. Of course I'm mad about that. Carrie's strength is her curiosity when playing a new game, and sense of immersion and how charismatic she is. Carrie didn't need any of those upgrades. Mr. C only added them because he wanted to. Do you not understand that? Because I personally don't understand how any of that gives me a motive to commit murder. Yeah, the fact that the cover song expenses are the afterthought on that, it's like, surely those cost more. Because yeah, you're paying for like, well, as far as I'm aware, none of the people that Lillian employs can do like sound mixing or video editing. The prosecution's witness just said you seemed calm when talking to Mr. C. I have a predisposition to heart attacks. When I get too mad, I have to remind myself to calm down or I could really hurt myself. Like right now, for example. Did you say to Mr. C while leaving, "It's fine, that was the last time anyway"? Maybe, I don't remember. Always tell him it'll be the last time we argue. I mean, clearly you're always wrong about it. I would tell him that the next time too if he was still alive. I didn't think that would be something that would get me in trouble. Is that a good enough answer for you, just in truth? I mean, not really, but... As we've just heard from Ms. Allure, their argument about Lillian's budget was not personal. It was solely from the perspective of the company's bottom line. As such, the defense sees no relation to the case. It'll be all, Your Honor. Very well, I understand. Are you feeling well enough to be cross-examined, Ms. Allure? Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Right, just don't push yourself too hard. Well then, whenever the prosecution's ready. Okay, got it. Yeah, is it your right to comment on the budget? Let me confirm one thing. Is budget your responsibility as a talent manager? That's complicated. It's Mr. C's decision, but the way he spends money will influence Curry's mood. If he doesn't spend enough on Curry, then she'll feel neglected, but spend too much and she'll get a big ego. Her marketing and public relations budget also needs to be big enough to get Curry's name out there and keep her relevant. So, I think it's my responsibility to ensure we spend money where it matters, and not on frivolous things. Let me just clarify. Your responsibility is making sure money is spent where it matters, so Kurupa stays in good spirits, and that's why you spoke up to Mr. C? But strictly speaking, budget planning is not in your job description. That's right. It's Mr. C's. Okay, got it. Yeah, can you tell me why this exists? Presenting evidence number 23. This is Lillian's revised second quarter budget. And it seems like you're the one who drafted it. Isn't this your name here at the top, Sophia? Why do you have this? Let me just point one thing out. In this revised version, Curry's budget has been drastically reduced, while Lillian's marketing and public relations budget has increased dramatically. So yes, after Mr. C was murdered, it seems you really did take it upon yourself to increase the budget for the two departments you're responsible for. It's exactly because Mr. C was killed that we need a higher PR budget. We need to have a lot of press to deal with. But planning the budget isn't part of your job, is it? Yeah, surely the person next in charge of the money job is Misty, right? Because Misty's responsible for paying everyone. So wouldn't the budget be her responsibility? No, it's Mr. C's, and he's dead. There are extenuating circumstances that are so freaking hard to understand. Where the heck did you get that? There should be a company secret. Yep, there she goes. Stop this hearing at once! You're going to give Miss Allure a heart attack! Medic, help this woman immediately! Due to unforeseen circumstances, this court will take a temporary recess. We will reconvene once the defendant is feeling better. Hold on a second. Your Honor, we're hoping you could at least allow the final witness to take the stand before pausing proceedings. This is a special witness, and we're afraid next time they might not be available. You should have received our application. You're right, I do recall something like that. Does the defense object? We'll wait and see. Which means you'll allow it then. Very well, bring them to the stand. witness, prosecutor? Please wait a moment. We've had some technical difficulties. Technical difficulties? What do you mean, Mr. Truth? Crap, how can I get out of this? Faye? How'd she get here? Yeah, she came in on a... Hold it! Can I help you with something, Ms. Ward? I have orders to come here and make an announcement. An announcement? Yeah, let me see here. Yep, this is where we split. If we sell 100,000 copies... We are in the middle of a hearing. All unrelated persons must leave the premises. Oh, don't be such a stick in the mud. I won't take long. Court is not the place to read announcements. You don't want to hear my announcement? Fine, then how's this? How's this announcement? Ooh! Ms. Ward? I don't think you're supposed to flip the judge off. I think that's contempt of court. Are you giving him the middle finger? No. Peace, love, and harmony in this courtroom. No middle fingers. And how are you even doing that? I can't move my fingers. Yeah, I can't do it either. There can only be one. Is this one of our suspects? I mean, it's the least suspicious of the subjects. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. Amanda is the least suspicious. Sorry. The least suspicious in terms of this actual murder. This is Faye. She's very suspicious for other reasons, but... Ash again. Detective, take this idiot away before she sullies our courtroom any further. Peace out, homies. Where are you, Hoss? Yes, all persons unrelated to this hearing must leave. And now, is your witness ready, prosecutor? I don't think it was a sequel game announcement. Wasn't it voice acting? I feel like it was in the fake Twitter. But I could be wrong. Yes, we're ready to call our next witness to the stand. Sorry about the distraction just now, Your Honor. Please state your name and occupation. Kitty kitty! I'm the Gripper. I'm a Vtuber. Nice to meet all of you. Oh, what an energetic girl. But why is the witness on a screen? And this is a special case, Your Honor, as a Vtuber can't reveal their true identity. There's actually a precedence for remote court attendance in Japan. During a civil case on May 17th, 2018, a witness appeared on court via drone because of psychological issues. We hope the court can understand and make an exception. Seems like anything can happen in a Japanese court, Yep. Well, based on Ace Attorney, anyway. Yep, Japanese courts are crazy. Can the 7th game please come out now? Yep, very specifically Ace Attorney. Does the defense object? The defense is fine with it. Well then, let's get started. Now then. Ow! Isn't this the notepad Faye was just reading from? She's gone. Where'd it come from? You're welcome. Could she see right through me? She's really a tricky one. Prosecutor, what are you waiting for? Sorry, I'm ready. Let's do this. What is your relationship with Mr. C? Well, at work, he's my boss. Apart from that, Curry's never revealed her other relationship with Mr. C. Actually, Curry and Mr. C are... What's this place? This is our cozy room. It's basically a room for prosecutors to relax. Oh, she's streaming from the prosecutor's office, huh? Because we're trying to keep her alive, right? Surely. Why'd you bring me here? No reason to stress when you're in here. I just asked Miss Close to go make us some coffee, so take a seat. Why'd you bring me here? Sorry, you're probably not in the mood to relax, huh? But just take a seat anyway. Coffee's on its way. Yeah. It's definitely safer for her. I don't know if that's the reason. Actually, I don't actually know if this is where she currently is, or if this is a conversation from previously. So, Ms. Weeks, before this trial gets started, there are a few things I want to confirm with you in private. Just to get everything out on the table. You're Kurupa's real face, right? No. Listen, before this whole case started, I had no idea what a VTuber was. I had no idea why people were prancing around online with anime faces on, or why anyone would want to watch them. But as the case went on, I started to understand it all. Now I understand that a VTuber staying in character and never revealing their true identity lets their fans stay invested in that fantasy. You stay in character, they can stay in character, so to speak. I think there's a good argument to be made for that. But I need you to know this. I'm here to solve a case and catch a killer. The truth is everything here, and for that I'll need your cooperation. So, can you cooperate with me? It doesn't matter what you say. I'm really not Kurupa's real face. I see you're sticking to your guns on this. I actually asked you here today because I got a hold of some new evidence. I'm hoping you can help me clear up some things and help me understand what happened. Is that okay? Like what? On April 21st, the day after the murder, your eyes were red and puffy. Can you explain why that was? Because Molly went missing. I was sleeping at home the night before, and when I woke up I didn't see Molly anywhere. I was looking for her everywhere, and then I saw the kitchen window was open, so she must have run out. Did Misty dump the cat to give Prudence an excuse to be sad? I wanted to go out to look, and then I bumped into Misty coming back home. She said she'd deal with it and I shouldn't worry, but I cried for a really long time. I see. Let's go over some details, shall we? So when you woke up, the cat wasn't there? Right, she wasn't there. It was missing before Misty came back home. Yep. And you think it ran out the window? Yeah, because that's the only thing that was open. But your apartment's on the 4th floor. Oh, yeah! Molly's smart. She probably found her path down the balcony railings. Alright then. Thank you. I assume we're just gonna present the abandoned cat to this. The fact that the cat was not missing till after Misty came back. Can you confirm something for me? This is information provided by the police. At 1:23 AM on April 21st, Misty Rio was caught on camera entering a nearby park with a cat. At 1:37 AM, she left that park, this time with no cat. Why would you not just get someone else to look after the cat if you needed it to be missing? Why are you dumping it inside a carrier in a park? From this, we can only assume that Miss Rio left that cat in the park around 1:30 AM. But if that's true, wouldn't that mean the cat couldn't have been missing at 10:30 PM like you said? And if you were indeed lying about that, Miss Weeks, then did you say something to Miss Rio that caused her to dump her own cat in the park at 1:30 AM? I mean, you could still have an accomplice friend look after the cat and be like, oh no, my cat is missing. But then I guess then you run the risk of having an extra person who can blab. Isn't the saying, 2 people can keep a secret if one of them is dead? As it were. Basically in that the more people who know a thing, the less likely it is to stay secret. I think Molly was sick, and she kept throwing up and scratching herself. I told Misty to bring her to the vet. I didn't think she would just abandon her. Well, you changed your story pretty quick. In fact, Miss Weeks, we found another piece of evidence. According to the Times, it's highly probable Misty Rio went to one other location. So that would be the cat hair. At 2:30 AM, someone tried to use Mr. C's mouse to access security footage on his computer. But the killer already knew that footage had been deleted, which means after Mr. C's murder, someone else went to the scene of the crime. The police also found small amounts of cat hair around Mr. C's computer, supporting this theory. Finally, at 4:03 AM, Misty Rio was caught one more time on camera near your apartment. If we stitch all of Miss Rio's steps together, it starts to paint a picture. First, Miss Rio returned home at 10:35 PM, which is when she bumped into you. At 11:30 PM, she put up some missing cat posts online. From 11:30 to 12:30 PM, she paced around outside, ostensibly searching for Molly, who wasn't actually missing yet, of course. Then, at around 1:30 in the morning, she released Molly in a nearby park. At 2:30 AM, she went to the Lillian offices to try and access security footage on Mr. C's computer. At 4:03 a.m. she went back to your apartment, and at 4:27 a.m. replied to her missing cat posts. She then caught a few hours of sleep and headed to the office at 8 a.m. as if nothing ever happened. What, now, caused her to make all of these seemingly nonsensical decisions? I'd like you to tell me, Ms. Weeks. What exactly happened during your stream on April 20th? I told you I'm not Kuripa! How many times do I need to say it? Same old story, huh? We already know Amanda Childs and Honor Chen pretended to be Kuripa in order to protect her. Sophia Lior also admitted to faking it. With all of them excluded, there's one piece of evidence proving you're the only remaining possibility. And that evidence is alibi 3, I believe. Nope, okay. There's one piece of evidence that proves that Prudence is the only possible person it could be. And apparently it's not Alibi 3, the thing that we used to get into this. Well, I guess it's the private date one. With the picture of her. Maybe? Nope. Kuripa was streaming on the night of the murder. There's one piece of evidence proving who could have been her real face. Okay. Is it the original alibi? Yeah. On the night of the murder, Mysterio was having dinner with her boyfriend, and Faye Ward was in Chicago with a friend. You, by your own account, at home sleeping, are the last remaining person that could have been streaming. I've also looked into the 2 surprise streams since the murder. Remember when I brought you all into the interrogation room and asked about those comments? Ah, he didn't. Was it deliberate? The messing up the letters for each one. I want to ask about viewer XYZ00I. Yeah, it was deliberate! What you don't know is that I said a different account name when talking to each of you. And then Kuripa, during her second stream, said the account name I said to you, specifically. Ah, taking advantage of the fact that you're using letters or numbers that are difficult to tell apart, / hard to mix up. And saying it out loud, and then Kuripa says one of them out loud. I didn't catch that one. Well, I mean, I caught the fact that we said it differently each time. I didn't catch Kuripa. You fell right into my trap. So, can you tell me the truth? But even if I were Kuripa, I still don't have any reason to kill Mr. C. He didn't mean anything to me. Actually, our investigation tells us you had quite a special relationship with Mr. C. And that is... secret relationship. And this was never public knowledge. You were dating Mr. C and no one knew, isn't that right? I kept thinking about what the person who leaked this information was trying to tell us. Usually, romantic partners are the primary suspects. And you've also had disagreements with them in the past. But whoever leaked this conversation seemed to be on your side, and not stacking evidence against you. So I thought, if you're not the killer, then are you a victim? A girl whose boyfriend was just murdered? Also, oof, dating your boss. Terrible, terrible choices. They're really... Am I right? So, can you tell me the truth? What were you doing during that night's stream? It was just general chat and marshmallows that night. I took one bathroom break. During that break, I checked my phone to see if I left anything important out. That's when I saw... Did the killer send you a picture? Or a message? Because, oof. You're talking about the night of the murder, right? Yes. Why was that day general chat specifically? Every once in a while I'll schedule a chat night without any game or specified topic just to catch up with fans. Just happened to be that night, no special reason. Okay. Press on what time she took the bathroom break. You took your bathroom break between 9:20 and 9:30 p.m, right? Yes. Alright then. Thank you. You don't check your phone during the stream? If it's important, then my phone will vibrate and I'll get a notification. Otherwise, I'm paying attention to the stream, not my phone. If I take a bathroom break, though, I'll check to see if I missed anything. Okay. And what was it that you saw? What did you see? I saw a text from a number I'd never seen before. It said, "Respect the real face. Be the real face." And then a photo. It was Mr. C's. Mr. C's. Aww. So you were threatened? I don't know. But I just couldn't let anyone know who I was, and I couldn't fall in love, and so you would disrupt your boyfriend's murder case just to keep that secret? I spent some time to calm myself down, and I went back to finish the stream. Also, oof! That is some control if you managed to finish that stream and keep going for another hour, knowing that your boyfriend had just been murdered. That's some skill. Why would you finish the stream in a situation like that? I thought the stream ended at 10:30. Maybe it was only 10. Oh no, it's 10:30 is the time that that Misty came home. So yeah, okay, only half an hour, but still. Because I thought I'm Curry's real face, so that's what I had to do. I couldn't tell that at all from the stream. She must have felt awful in that last half an hour. After the stream, I wanted to check the office, because that photo... When I was leaving, I saw Misty. She said if I went now, I'd be a suspect. She was adamant I let her handle it, and then she drugged me with sleeping pills. You fell asleep? Yeah. When I woke up, it was the morning. Misty left a note saying she left the paring knife on my desk. When questioned about it, I just had to deny everything. And she said that if anyone asked why I was crying, I should say because Molly went missing. That's why she left the cat in that park. I didn't think she'd really abandon Molly like that. What happened next? Sophie confirmed I was Curry's real face and then said she'd help. She didn't know before. Never officially, but she's my manager, so she had an idea. When Amanda and Anna jumped up and said they were Curry, Sophie thought it was weird, so she just joined in too. Originally, they all just wanted to help me. And then during the first trial, everyone learned I wanted to graduate. No one knew that before? I wasn't even sure I wanted to. I was only thinking about it. I only ever asked Amanda that one time about drawing a new skin. And they were all really mad about it. Misty even said I lied to her. I never wanted to lie to anyone. Can I quickly ask why you wanted to graduate? I couldn't be both an employee and a girlfriend. Yep, as I said, dating your boss, terrible idea. I didn't want to give up either one, so I figured I could still be Curry if I just changed agencies. It was nobody's fault. I was only thinking about it. I didn't want anyone to know. Misty and Sophie didn't know you were dating Mr. C? No. Why didn't you tell them? I just didn't think anyone needed to know. Which is fair. Also, Sophie is Mr. C's ex, so... We got in a big argument, and then they all left. Left me all alone. So I didn't know what to do anymore. The prosecutor always stands with the truth. Listen, from now on, I'm on your side. So you're not alone anymore, got it? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Do you feel any better? Yeah. I'm sorry for crying so much. It's okay, we're much closer to the truth now. Right now, I have to update all of our current information, though. First, can you show me the message you got during your stream? Here. Yep, it was just a picture of a dead body. Wonderful. Is that the same protect your daughter message person, I wonder? We'll have a look and see if we can tell. This means Mr. C was killed before 8:50 PM. Okay, just a second. Where's the anonymous message? It is the same number. Or at least it ends with the same 3 numbers. The text is short and to the point. Not much information in it. But you can see a phone in the photo. Updated time of death. Also, do we have that? I guess we don't get to have that picture. So now the suspected time of death is between 7:04 and 8:50. Why did Misty go to the office in the middle of the night? To see if the killer left anything behind. She tried to check the security cameras, but it was all gone. So she fabricated some evidence to try and influence the investigation. What did she do? She covered the knife in blood and put it on my desk, and put Amanda's nameplate in his hand, hoping to make Amanda and Sophie more of a suspect. Sophie hadn't asked me about being Curry's real face yet. Wouldn't putting the knife on your desk look worse for you? She said it was the opposite, that it would look like someone else was trying to frame me. The next thing is very important. When she went to the office, was the door locked? Yes. That's why she figured the killer was one of us, since they locked the door behind them. Okay. Now I'd like to ask about what happened after the first hearing. Were the conversations Operator A leaked real? I did argue with Mr. C that was real, but I didn't ask him to stay late at the office. Someone else hacked into my account. I don't think it counts as hacking when everyone in the company has the password anyway. I'm pretty sure it only counts as hacking if you're doing it without permission. Well, I guess they wouldn't have had permission to actually use the account to communicate, but that's not the point. I was streaming that night, so I couldn't have seen him at the office. Who is Operator A? I don't know, but I don't think it's Misty or Sophie. We got into a big fight because of the graduation thing, and they still haven't forgiven me. Can you confirm with me again the reason you thought about graduating? I couldn't be Mr. C's employee and girlfriend at the same time, but I didn't want to stop being a VTuber. That's why I wanted to change agencies. And they were all just thoughts. I hadn't made up my mind yet. Who in the office knew about that? One time when I was really mad after an argument, I asked Amanda about making a new skin. Other than that, I never said anything to anyone. I don't think anyone knew about my relationship with Mr. C. What about the rumors online that you dated fans or shared company secrets? All fake! I've never dated a fan and I've never done anything against Lillian. Could Mysterio or Sophia Lior be the killer? I don't think so. They were really trying to help me at first. I think the killer knew they were helping me, so they leaked that graduation stuff on purpose to break us up. Oh, so we're going with Operator A as the killer. Also, my entire theories on the killer have gone up in smoke. Well, I mean, I guess in that regard, the question is, I still don't think it could be Faye. I mean, I would say, like, is Faye rich enough to manufacture an alibi? But it doesn't seem like it's her either. Great. Evidence updated. Okay, so we have paring knife. Misty faked this. Dying message. Misty faked this. Remote access records. The second one was Misty. I mean, to be fair, Faye being on Prudence's side doesn't prevent her from being the killer. She could have had a warped perception of what the relationship between Prudence and Mr. C was, and acted upon that, perhaps, you know. What you're telling me is that the killer is very careful, calculated, and knowledgeable about the inner workings of your company. That makes things very difficult for us. Can we find them through process of elimination? Sure, but we can't convict them through process of elimination. It doesn't hold up in court. We'll need to set a trap. How? Set a trap by having her appear as... Okay, yeah. So she is going to be streaming from this room. But having the killer think that she's streaming from home and then break into her room there to take her out, and we have police there instead? That sounds like a good trap. Let me think. Up until now, Curry's been keeping Mr. C's second identity a secret. Actually, Mr. C is Curry's dad! Oh. We're going with that, are we? I mean, that does kind of feel like a perfectly reasonable reason for a VTuber agency to have just one streamer. Like I made this company specifically so my daughter could do what she loves. That would actually be a perfectly reasonable reason. Thanks to everyone's support, Curry finally has the strength to say it out loud. He's your biological father? No, he's my foster father. Why did you keep it secret this long? Because Curry was threatened. You were? Please tell me all about it. On the night of April 20th, Curry was at home streaming like usual. Curry took a quick bathroom break, checked her phone and saw a text from a mysterious number. It said, "Respect the real face, be the real face," and showed a photo of Curry's father, dead. What did they mean by respect the real face? I'm not sure, but Curry thinks it means she needed to keep her identity a secret. So Curry kept it a secret all this time. What did you do after reading that text? Curry asked 2 Lillian employees for help. They formed a team and said they'd help Curry while also keeping her identity a secret. Please show me the conversation. Ooh. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. So, who was part of this team? Employees number 2, 4, and 5. So, this team. Those three. Why these three? They were closest with Curry. I can't ask her this, so she can't give me a straight answer. Okay. Okay, how could you be sure no one in your team was the killer? Curry couldn't be totally sure, of course. But Curry would like to play an audio clip that proves someone was trying to break up our team. Please listen to this. A. Of course it's about graduation. I never thought I'd hear about that for the first time in court. B. It was just so much was happening at once. I was just thinking about maybe changing my environment would be better. C. There's something else I want to know. Are you the one who asked Mr. C to come to the office that night? B. No, it wasn't me. I didn't write that. I had a stream that night. Why would I even ask him to come? C. So if what you just said is true, I'll be very disappointed in you. Hey, you have to be really selfish to say that kind of crap you're saying right now. I regret inviting you to become a VTuber at Lillian. This happened after the first hearing. When the graduation news leaked, the team all started arguing with Curry. To protect everyone, we disguised the voices in this clip. But we can prove that the voices belong to your 3 team members. What are you trying to show us with this clip? Curry thinks only Mr. C knew that Curry thought about graduating. Someone else was peeping at company secrets and that person wasn't part of our team. That's what Curry wanted to say. From this witness testimony, we've learned some new important facts. 1. Kurupa is Mr. C's adopted daughter. 2. Kurupa's father was killed and she received a threatening text about it. 3. For safety, Kurupa kept her identity a secret and formed a team with 2 other employees. Finally, someone outside of their team was spying on company secrets. It seems this team includes today's defendant. Can you explain that, Mr. Truth? Yes, we'll explain that in a moment. We'd like to allow the defense to cross-examine the witness first. Very well. Would the defense like to skip a cross-examination? The defense would like to cross-examine whenever the defense is ready. Please tell me Kurupa's species, height, closing catchphrase, and the name she calls her fans. Curry is a computer virus. Thanks to all my carriers for your company. See you next time. Catch me if you can. You just provided an audio clip of your team arguing. You're member B, right? Yes, B. Is member A, Sophia, Oh! Hey! Sorry. We just explained that the defendant was threatened. Kurupa revealing her true identity would put her real face in danger. Okay. Objection sustained. If we're certain that the defendant was threatened, then I'll agree to let her true identity remain a secret. Did you receive a threatening text while streaming? Yes. When? It came at 8:50 p.m., but Curry didn't see it until 9:22. And then you went back to your stream at 9:30 p.m. and finished up at 10. Yes. Let me get this straight. You were just threatened and learned your adoptive father was killed. And then you just go back to work like it's no big deal? Does that make any sense? Objection? No? This question can help us understand how close the witness and victim were, so it's actually very important to this case. Your objections are getting harder for me to judge. Can the witness just answer the question, please? Yeah. Please answer the defense's question. It wasn't no big deal. Can you even imagine? You're doing something you do all the time, like, for example, defending a suspect. And then you take a simple bathroom break, see a message, and learn the person you love most in the world was just murdered? Would that be no big deal to you? Curry cried so much until she couldn't take it. It took everything Curry had to control herself and get to a point where she could talk and go back to work. Curry doesn't know what she did wrong, why she would get that, why she had to get that text, and why someone would kill Mr. C. But Curry does know one thing. A bad person ruined Curry's mood during her stream, and they're not going to get away with it. Motion capture and mute are two very useful tools. So Curry was crying, and her face was full of tears. But the sound was muted, so no one could tell. Does that answer your question? No further questions, Your Honor. Well then, if the defense has no further questions, I'd like the prosecution to explain how these new facts may influence the trajectory of this case. Right. The biggest change has been to Mr. C's time of death. Since the victim was already dead when Kurappa received that text at 8:50 p.m., we know the time of death was before that. Wait a second, let's double check Faye's alibi! I mean, I don't think it helps. Because at the time of the murder she was already in Chicago, so... I don't think changing the potential time earlier by a couple of hours is gonna change that. Okay. This overturns what we previously thought the time of death to be. We've also learned that someone has been looking into Lillian's company's secrets. This person knew about Kurappa's plans to graduate, as well as her new identity. As well as her real identity, and has been using this secret information to manipulate the case and threaten her. We'd like to form a hypothesis. If the one who sent the threat is the killer, and the three team members aren't a possibility, then that only leaves one person. Okay. If we're assuming that the person making the threats is... It leaves us with Faye, and that doesn't make any sense! I don't think. Alibi checking. Right. Amanda. Family members saw her go to the bathroom at 8:40. Which means that she really couldn't have... She finished eating at 7, went into her room, and her family members saw her go to the bathroom at 8:40. She lives 60 minutes away from the office, which makes it impossible for her to have done the murder. And if we're making the assumption that it can't be Sophie, Prudence, or Misty, who are the ones who were the most possible in terms of suspects. For me, anyway. So then we have Honor Chen's alibi. She says she was at home. We did find her on CCTV outside of a convenience store near her home. She lives 30 minutes away. We don't actually have timings for that. And then we have Faye, who was in fucking Chicago. Where is it? Yeah, we don't have in here the threatening text, do we? But I'm pretty certain it was the same number. So if we're assuming that the same person who sent the threatening text is the same person that sent the protect your daughter messages, and we're assuming that they didn't send them to themselves, it's the same number to the digit. I only memorized the last 3 digits, so... that's why I couldn't be 100% certain. But I assumed memorizing the last 3 digits would make it basically obvious. If we're assuming that the person who sent the threatening message is the murderer and the person who sent the threatening message is the same person that sent these messages, and that they didn't send them to themselves as an alibi of some kind. Oh, you sent it? Yeah, YouTube didn't even tell me that it didn't give it, that it didn't want to show it. Yeah, I'm gonna save. If we're working off of all of those assumptions, and if all of those assumptions are true, then the only person it could have been is the person with an alibi that they were on the other side of the fucking world. But if not necessarily all of those assumptions were true, because I don't know if we saw that text from Honor. I don't know if Honor actually showed us that text. We know Amanda showed us that text. And we know that mathematically Amanda couldn't have done it. We don't have the timestamps to know whether mathematically Honor could have done it. I don't like this. I mean, if all of these things are true, then it's Faye, which is really weird. But sure. No, that's not right, okay. Faye Ward was in Chicago, so it's impossible. Okay, yeah, then it's Honor. The only person it can be is the person who admitted to it to us at one point. There has been only one incredibly brazen suspect, with multiple holes in her alibi, who actually already admitted to being the killer once before. Yep. That's why I'm like, really? However, due to a lack of definitive evidence, we haven't pinned on her a guilty verdict. One thing that makes her so brazen is this. She seems to know exactly how the murder was committed. And that person is Honor Chen. Except that she said things different. Wait, fuck. Wait. She said... Because she talks about dropping the murder weapon, didn't she? She was like, I think maybe I dropped it near the door. But we knew... That was before we knew what the real murder weapon was. Yeah, the game won't let us to get it wrong. That is, interesting. Or am I mistaken? I'm pretty sure I came here to testify against Sophia Lior. Why am I suddenly the killer now? The victim was killed before 8:50 p.m. But Sophia Lior didn't learn about her supposed motive until she met with her boyfriend after 9 p.m. Oh yeah, good point. Sophia Lior was also part of Kuripa's team, meaning she wouldn't have been prying into company secrets and trying to harm her. If we're only looking into people outside of Kuripa's team, it takes Amanda Childs 2 hours to get home from the office. Well, to get to the office and to get home. But she was seen at home by her family at 8:40 p.m, meaning it would have been impossible for her to commit the murder. Faye Ward was in Chicago, so that's even more impossible. You're the only possibility. And so, Honor Chen, I am officially accusing you of the murder of Mr. C. The prosecution is changing their defendant. That goes against protocol. Very sorry, but we didn't learn of Kuripa's being threatened until recently. We only set up this policy to protect the witness. This is a major murder case. Every new defendant has a right to a defense that has done their due preparation to defend their client. The prosecution's actions wouldn't be fair to the new defendant. Hold on a second. I don't mind if I'm the defendant. What do you mean? I was a witness and now I've suddenly been accused of murder. But in the court, evidence is everything, right? Well then, put me up as a witness and let me prove the prosecution's accusations are ridiculous. I can defend myself just fine, thank you very much. Defending oneself is also against usual protocol. Then that public attorney can do it. What do you think, Miss Dunn? It's fine, you can just stand there and let me handle everything. I agree to serve as Miss Chen's defense attorney and ensure her rights in this trial. Okay. Well then, if the witness and attorney both agree, then I'll also agree to the prosecution's request to change defendants. Please provide a statement then. The prosecution's witness is ready to take the stand. Then bring them up. Please state your name and occupation. I'm the Kalla Vtuber. Explain how 1 billion employees digging into company secrets. Okay. Where were you on May 25th? I was here, attending the first hearing. Did the defendant do or say anything particularly notable during the last hearing? At the last hearing, Wild Goose asked Honor if she knew about the April Fool's incident. Honor said the client gave Curry the wrong file, which was incorrect. Objection. Speculation. Objection. The fact that the witness noticed this is related to the case. I'll explain it all in due time. Okay, I agree with the prosecution. Please continue. She knows the rules more than I thought she would. I have to deal with this quickly. Why did her answer seem strange to you? Only Curry and Wild Goose should know that. So Honor knew something she shouldn't have known. Curry noticed that during the last hearing. Thank you. From the witness's testimony we've learned, the witness seems to have company knowledge that is outside the scope of her job. This is consistent with our hypothesis that the killer is someone familiar with certain company secrets. That'll be all, Your Honor. Very well. Would the defense like to cross-examine the witness? Yes, we would. Are you familiar with the procedure? Of course. Very well, then. Please begin. Please state your name and occupation. Curry. I'm the Curva. Curry's a Vtuber. Nice to meet everyone. Yes, adorable, as usual. I wouldn't expect anything less from my cute, loving daughter. But I don't think you understood my question. So let me ask again. Who are you? What's up with her face? Eh? I'm Kurba, the VTuber. Who is Kurba? In jurisprudence, there are two identities, a natural person and a legal person. Which is Kurba? If Kurba doesn't exist in the legal sense of the term, then what right do you have to be here right now giving a testimony? Objection! Kurba has been allowed to testify here in a virtual capacity, something we clarified earlier. Objection! You mean when you accused Sophia Lior? Well, right now I'm the defendant and the defense, and I'm not okay with it. Objection! The witness is here in virtual form because her true identity is under threat, and it would be unsafe for her to be here in that capacity. Since it is our duty to protect our witnesses, she has been allowed to testify here virtually. Objection! Witness safety and valid evidence are two different things. If I don't know who she is, how can I trust what she says? Or am I totally off base? Objection! If the killer is the same person who sent Kurba that threat, then your request would be putting her in danger. Kurba is only here in a virtual capacity to protect her. Objection! I'll remind you that I'm innocent until proven guilty, so please don't throw terms like killer and threat at me, okay? Also, this fact is from Kurba's own testimony, which is barely believable. She distorts the truth and flip-flops cause and effect. The defense's position is without a proper legal identity. Kurba's statement is not legally binding, and all testimony should be rescinded. Unless you have a way to make her real face's identity public. So, do you? You don't, huh? What do you think, my lovely daughter? Why don't you just listen to your father and be a good girl? Don't be stupid now, do you understand me? The court recognizes that if the witness is under duress, it is understandable to keep their identity a secret and have them testify in a virtual form. However, the defense's argument is also reasonable. If we do not know the identity of the witness, that being Kuripa's real face, the believability of their testimony does come into question. According to both the principle of witness protection and the admissibility of evidence, the court will agree to allow the witness to testify in a virtual form, but the prosecution will have to prove the natural identity of Kuripa's real face. Can you prove this, prosecutor? The prosecution cannot prove it. Well then, unfortunately, the court will have to rescind the witness's testimony until their natural identity can be confirmed. Does the prosecution have any objections? Several! But I don't know if any of them are legally binding. No. Even without the witness's testimony in effect, does the prosecution still stand by their accusation of the defendant? Yes, we maintain our accusation. We have evidence to support it as well. Oh, you have evidence. You have evidence? Do I have evidence? Yes, or even if I don't, I still have to produce something. Apart from the obvious victim of Mr. C, this case has one more possible victim. The prosecution will provide more evidence and request that Kuripa stay on the stand. The prosecution will ask for her opinion if needed. Mr. Prosecutor! Fine, let her stay up there. Let us see what happens when you go against your father. If it's only to spectate, I don't see why not. Well then, the defense may give their statement. I have no statement to give. The prosecution has no evidence against me. Let them take the stand if they must. Are you sure? Actually, I'm curious to see what he even thinks he has against me. If those are the defense's wishes, then the prosecution may continue. No problem, bring it on. Very well, then please make your statement, Prosecutor Truth. We brought Misty, huh? I hope the plan's getting messed up. Even Mysterio doesn't seem like it looks like she doesn't know what to do. Just calm down. Pick your questions carefully and get useful information. Please tell us your name and occupation. Mysterio. I do administration and accounting for Lillian Entertainment. Calm down and rethink your question. Okay. Company secrets, I think. What is your position at Lillian? I do admin work. I'm in charge of company finances, books, staff. It's all me. I'd like to present this evidence. The budget plans? The budget disagreement? The conversation from the 17th? Which one's that? The motive. Can we finally get that one thing she wouldn't give us, right? Second quarter budget plans. Have you seen this before? Yes, Sophie told me she wrote the first draft. I was going to hammer out some of the details with her. We already scheduled it. Okay. The budget disagreement? Please tell us what this is a recording of. Sophia and Bossman arguing. Why does this exist? Honor Chen submitted it to the court. Oh! This isn't right. Lillian's security system was all wiped, but it recorded sound, so whoever wiped this company's security cameras might have... Objection! Personal conjecture. Objection sustained. Please stick to the content of the recording and refrain from providing your own opinion. I know Sophie and Bossman had disagreements over the budgets, but this is the first time I've heard this recording. Damn it. Sorry, let's try this again. Okay, sorry, company secrets. Position. The conversation. One of Kurapir and Bossman's conversations? I've never seen this before. I didn't know any of this. Mysterio can't help me with this then. Please take a look at this. Oh. Okay. So it's not off of this bit. Find a different angle. Honor and Mr. C's argument? Did you enter the office on April 7th? April 7th? Oh, what day of the week was that? Friday. Oh, well, I usually go in on Fridays. How often does Lillian make security backups? Did anything special happen that day? Anything special? I don't think so. I don't remember anything. Crap, I should have talked to her about this earlier. Now she doesn't remember anything. I guess this is a dead end. How often does Lillian make security backups? We don't really make backups. I only check it when something happens. And have you checked it lately? Also, you don't make backups. Good grief. Yeah, on April 7th. Honor Chen broke my potted plant the day before, so I wanted to know why, so I checked the footage. I saved a picture of it if you want to see. Is something wrong? I have it saved on the company drive. She doesn't have it on her? Can the witness prove at all her claim? No, sorry. You actually checked the security cameras? You could have just asked me, I would have told you I broke it on purpose. What? I admit I was incredibly mad, but that doesn't mean I killed someone. You're wasting your time with this. Oh. He's calmed down. This is a dead end, okay. Alright, company secrets. Are you more familiar with the internal company affairs than other employees? Leading question. Ah, darn it. If something wasn't right at the company, would you notice right away? No? Okay. Hypothetical question. Okay, we need to pull our way through this again. What's that one? So we don't have back button. Okay, the real face's identity. Who in the company knows who Kuripa's real face is? Only me and Mr. C. During this whole investigation, you still haven't revealed their identity to me. Why not? One reason is it's because it's a company secret. The other reason is, I know Kuripa's real face was threatened. We have a very good relationship and she asked me to protect her. If I revealed her identity, I'd be putting her in danger, so I haven't done so. Why do you think that she's in danger? Someone died and Kerber's real face got a threatening text. Is that not enough danger for you? Objection. Personal conjecture. Objection sustained. The witness need not answer the question. Okay, please describe how she was threatened then. She said that when she was streaming she got a... Objection. Hearsay. Objection sustained. The witness need not answer the question. Why do you trust them? I have a screenshot of the threat. You do? Yes, she told me about it and I thought it might be useful, so I asked her to send it to me. Look. Ah, yeah. There it is. And I can now confirm that definitely that previous set of 3 numbers was also correct. Well, it was also identical. How can you be sure this came from the real face? Everyone in the company is aware that I know the identity of Kuripa's real face. Well, she sent me the screenshot while we were face to face. I swear it came directly from her. Misty Rio's job includes sending each employee their salary, which of course means she needed to know the identity of Kuripa's real face. Thanks to her, we were able to confirm that the real face was indeed threatened. Very well, I understand. The defense may now prepare to cross-examine the witness. I never thought I'd be facing off against you here. If you're the one who killed Mr. C, I won't let you get away with it. Wow, so scary. How about you actually try and prove I did it first? Tell us about when Kuripa's real face reached out and asked you for your help. It was 10:35 PM the night of the murder. I just finished a dinner date with my boyfriend and bumped into the real face outside my apartment. She was crying and said Mr. C was killed and wanted to go to the office to see. She showed me the threatening text she got, so I asked her to send me a copy. Then I spent some time trying to calm her down and told her to go back home and rest. So there was a murder and you didn't call the police? Like I said, she was threatened. Calling the police would reveal the real face's identity. We weren't sure what would happen if we did that, so we just didn't. What happened after my daughter's real face rested at home? After trying to calm her down for so long, I was exhausted, so I passed out. Then the next day, when it was almost time for work, I went to the office and confirmed Mr. C had been killed. Then I called the police. Hold on a moment. Here, look at this. It's a post about a missing cat. It says a cat went missing at 11:30 PM that night. The next morning at 4:27 to be exact, the original poster responded to the comments for the first time. Do you know about this post? Yes, I posted it. This seems to fly in the face of what you just described. Why? Our cat went missing. I took a minute to post that online, I just didn't mention it because it has nothing to do with the case. I see. Well, it must have been hard for you to be looking for your missing cat during a murder. How can you be sure the text wasn't fabricated? Eh? The threatening text I saw was just a screenshot. How do I know that it isn't fake, or that Curry's real face didn't send it to herself from another phone? Do you have the phone with you that received the text in the first place? No. The witness's description of the night conflicts with her posting about her missing cat. Also, since the witness is the only one who knows who Curry's real face is, there's no way to tell she really received that text and that it wasn't fabricated. No further questions? Okay. Regarding the believability of this threatening text, I'd like to hear the prosecution's opinions. I mean, we've seen it on the original phone. I have evidence, Your Honor. Oh, you do? Yes, I can prove the text is real. Then please present that evidence to the court. Let me think. Even without help from the real face, what do I have that will prove that threatening text is real? Okay. We could use the anonymous message that has the same number on it. We don't have a picture of the murder scene. So I'm pretty sure the answer is just that anonymous message. Presenting evidence number 21. Oh, what is this? Amanda Childs and Honor Chen also received anonymous texts telling them to protect their daughter. This prompted the two of them to pose as Kuripa's real face, making this case much more difficult for me. Looking at all of these texts, we can see that the text Miss Childs and Miss Chen received, and the threatening text Kuripa's real face received, came from the same number. From this we can see that there is someone out there who's been secretly manipulating multiple Lillian employees. And yet, one of those employees is the current defendant? Why would that be? That is a conundrum to be sure. It seems the killer anonymously said to protect your daughter to herself after the murder. After that, she concealed herself among the other suspects, doing her best to protect the victims. Prosecutor Truth, a statement. Is that right, Mr. Truth? Think twice before digging yourself into a hole. No, actually, Prosecutor Truth's hypothesis works perfectly for me, so please let him continue. I just want him to know how dangerous that hypothesis really is. So, is it my turn to testify yet? If the defense doesn't object... Oh then, the defense may give their statement. Prosecutor Truth has put forth a very interesting claim. The murderer sent an anonymous text to herself and pretended to help everyone else to stay free from suspicion. I actually know all about that. You're right, that's exactly the strategy the killer used. The strategy? What are you talking about? To be completely honest, I'm furious. I went along with this whole investigation. I came and testified in court. I freaking confessed just to protect my own daughter. I cannot accept some inexplicable foster father suddenly appearing. Especially not from some two-faced, silver-tongued prosecutor who's made a cute, innocent little girl doubt her own father. So I think my daughter deserves a little punishment, I do. I need her to see what happens when you don't listen to your parents. Please refrain from being overly emotional in my courtroom. Can the defense please explain what they mean by knowing all about the strategy the killer used? Apologies, I got too serious there. Let me explain. Just now, the prosecution accused the killer of sending themselves a certain text, and then playing the victim. But, do those people involved not include my daughter's real face? Yeah, Honogus and the Vtuber family are all a bit too much. Yep. There's something a little messed up here. As we all know, my daughter was streaming on the night of the murder from 7 to 10 p.m. From her constant live interaction with fans, we know it wasn't pre-recorded. And from the time needed to commute, we know she couldn't have gone to the office, committed the murder, and then gone back home. And is this alibi real? I'll tell you right now, we've all been carrying a false assumption from the very beginning. That assumption, streaming must be done from home. Is it possible that my daughter wasn't streaming from home? So now let me reframe that night with this new context. From 5 to 7 p.m. on the night of the murder, the killer snuck her way into the Lillian office, avoiding CCTV. The victim, asked to stay late in the office, had no idea of the tragedy that was coming his way. Yes, admittedly, this is how we got Prudence in the first place. The victim ate dinner around 6:30 p.m, then returned to the office at 7:04 p.m. While he was gone, the killer drugged his drinking glass with sleeping pills. Then, after setting up the meeting room, Kuripa began her stream at 7 p.m. sharp. As long as she stuck a streaming do not disturb sign on the door, the victim would never have interrupted. Then the killer took a bathroom break and left the meeting room. Waiting for her outside was a drugged, fast-asleep Mr. C. She first used her phone to connect to Mr. C's computer, and then used the murder weapon to slash his jugular. Then she went back to her stream like nothing happened, happily chatting with her fans. No one could see the blood strewn across her face, or the phone in her hand commenting as Mr. C to throw off the time of death. And that's how it happened. Objection! Everything the witness said is just a guess. In the courtroom, evidence is everything. I won't accept such conjecture. Objection! But don't you know, Mr. Prosecutor? I do have evidence. Yeah, evidence you planted! Well, that rather appears to be, Prudence with a knife. This is an image from the office CCTV, one I deleted on April 20th. Don't you get it now? All this time I was just trying to protect my very own daughter. But in return I've only been met with doubt and betrayal. Oh, my sweet little daughter. I'll show you how it feels to go against your own father. What's going on here? What's on a skill level with digital modeling? Like, could she have faked both this CCTV and the one about Sophie dumping the weapon? What's going on here? Is she for real? Yes. You're lying to me? I am sorry. Get it now? See just who you've been trying to protect all this time? Liar! She's nothing but a liar! Ms. Chan. I think there's been a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? She killed him. What's not to understand? Kuripa, can you explain? I'd like to explain how the motion capture mask works. What? Sophie! What? How? Thank God. Made it through. We've planted a trap for the real killer. Alright, I have a friend who wanted me to contact her right about now. Hey, it's me. I did what you asked. Ally? Ooh. Let them speak. Can you say something? It's okay. Haji's on our side. Ah, Haji. And I think they know your true identity. Thank you for helping me when I needed it most. Not bad, prosecutor. I sent you the video. This should be the killer's trump card, so use it against them. How you'll do that is up to you. Good luck, just in truth. The killer's trump card. This is fake! Do you have proof? Evidence. My pet cam! My pet cam will prove I was in my room that night. Please believe me. Please calm down, Prudence. If I didn't believe you, I wouldn't have brought you here. Her mysterious benefactor also said this would be Anna's trump card, and that she must have faked it in some way. Thank you. How can we prove it's fake, though? If she gets to use this in court, it would be very bad for us. So so our way of proving it's fake is that we faked who Kuripa was? We put a fake Kuripa on the stand? We can't use my pet cam? Maybe we can. It's just that when there are contradictions between the defense and prosecution's evidence, it turns into a tug of war, both parties trying to prove they're right. We need a way to make this evidence airtight, so it decimates any chance the opposition has to... Oh yeah, I forgot to ask you something. That first surprise stream after the murder, the important announcement one, was that you? No, it was Sophie. Aha! After she knew I was threatened, she offered to help try and get the heat off of me. And then what? She forgot your closing catchphrase? Yeah. She forgot to say it. So, only Mysterio and Sophia Lior should know your Kuripa, right? Right. And we'll use the fact that the killer knows who you are against them. We just need Sophia Lior to play along and make the killer think you were the one streaming. Then we'll wait until she plays her trump card and bam! Got her. I think this might work. What do you think? I'm sorry. What is it? Well, we had a fight and I said some mean things. And I don't think Sophie's the killer. She even tried to have the suspicion put on herself just to help me. I don't know if I even deserve to ask for her help anymore. I'm sorry. How about we let her make that decision? I do solemnly, sincerely, and truly swear and affirm that the evidence I shall give shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Anna Chen, you have some nerve to treat an artist at your own company the way you have. You'll pay the price for what you did. But how? Why was our original defendant the one streaming? Can you please explain that? I was caught off guard by that too, Your Honor. Our original defendant, Sophie Allure, had told me that she was Kurupa's real face. She said she was threatened, so asked to testify virtually as Kurupa. But it seems she wasn't entirely truthful to me. I'm sorry. From now on, everything will be the truth. Is the evidence that Miss Chen presented true? It's true. As her manager, I can confirm that Kurupa's real face is indeed Prudence Weeks. Do you know that presenting false evidence in court is a crime? It's only because Prudence was threatened. I thought revealing her identity would be dangerous, so I posed as Kurupa to try and help. So you were protecting her? Yes, you could say that. If that's true, then that begs a very important question. Anna Chen, why do you know who Kurupa's real face is? Miss Ryo, should Anna Chen know the identity of Kurupa's real face? Only Mr. C and myself knew. Sophie only figured it out and confirmed it with me after the case started. And I shouldn't know who it is. We recently discovered that someone has been sticking their nose in company secrets. Let me ask you, Ms. Chen, how did you get this security image? We know now that Mr. C was killed sometime between 7 and 8:50 p.m. From then until the next morning, we don't think anyone except the killer was in the office. Oh yeah, I forgot to check what the timestamp was on that one, and I don't think we have it, do we? So when did you obtain and then delete the security footage? You're not going to tell me you have a habit of checking Lillian's cameras because you love your daughter so much, are you? It seems we've lost the topic. Would the prosecution please explain how these new facts pertain to the case? From the defendant's testimony, we can form a new hypothesis. The defendant used the information from Kurupa's public account to pose as her, telling Mr. C to stay late at the office. She then entered the office, avoiding the cameras before 7 p.m. She then drugged Mr. C's water, perhaps when he was out getting dinner. After Mr. C fell asleep, Ms. Chen used her phone to connect to Mr. C's computer, and then killed him and sent that threatening text to Ms. Weeks. She then deleted the security footage and left the office. Remotely, she commented on Kurupa's stream posing as Mr. C to confuse the time of death. She then got herself purposefully caught on CCTV near her home at 10:05 p.m. But doesn't the security image provided by the defendant just now fly in the face of your new hypothesis? Actually, it explains something else. I mean... None of the information we have had so far in this game has suggested that magic is a thing in this world. So I guess they were a cosplay? It's like the first two would be reasonable suggestions if we were playing Nail, but the defendant was once a cosplayer, I assume. Did we know that? Or has this just come completely out of left field? Oh no, she did tell us this. She told us this a while ago. When I was young, I was into cosplay. That's surprising. Back then, I was known as a god-level cosser. I was a little famous, I guess. Ah, god-level. The defendant used to be very into the cosplay scene, even being called a god-level cosser in the past. For her, dressing up as Prudence Weeks would be a piece of cake. I mean, I'm not going with entirely piece of cake. There's, a significant amount of binding involved. I'm sure if you saw her in person, you could tell the difference, because she would also be a lot taller. But since the security camera is, like, up at the ceiling, you don't get quite as much of that height information. So you can sort of... I mean, that's kind of how you distort the height of people in photographs anyway. If you want to make someone seem smaller, you take the photo from further up. The person that did is already dead. Now we can only judge from this blurry picture. The defendant used this to fabricate her own alibi and make it look like someone else killed Mr. C. All meticulously planned. Yeah, and then she dressed up as Sophie to go dump the knife. Okay. From the defendant's behaviour, we can see that she holds an abnormal amount of love for her daughter, the Vtuber Kuripa. She read secret company information to find out the identity of her real face, also learning that the victim was her adoptive father. Unable to accept her daughter having a new father, she planned to kill him. His twisted possessiveness towards her own daughter was the killer's motive. Very well, I understand. Objection! Sorry, but I need to interrupt for a second. I am, technically, still Miss Chen's defense attorney. Let me remind you that without substantive evidence, my client is still innocent until proven guilty. Unless you think this hunch of yours is substantive evidence. Because it's not. In the courtroom, evidence is everything. Unless the prosecution can prove that the security image my client provided was fabricated, and don't even think about using circumstantial evidence to get around it. I agree with the defense. Prosecutor Truth, if you cannot provide hard evidence that proves Miss Chen was the killer beyond reasonable doubt, I will not allow you to accuse Miss Chen of this crime. So we can use the pet cam now, right? So, do you have the evidence? A lawyer is someone who smiles, no matter how hard it gets. I can prove it. Oh? Well then, please present your evidence. What proves that Prudence Weeks wasn't the one in that image? Think about this. Oh! While taking the picture from high up allows you to distort the real height of someone, that's a life-size cutout of Kurapa. We actually have a height marker here. The fact that she exited on that side of the desk is going to be her downfall. Yeah! Curry's quite short. Prudence is also quite short. Musquash, that's the angle. That's the angle of the photo making her look kind of squished. The evidence proving this CCTV image is wrong is... Kurapa's basic info. During our investigation, I discovered something incredibly important. Kurapa is adorable. What? As a computer virus, apart from cloning herself, her only real function is to display her own name. She goads people into catching her, but there's no real danger. A very cute virus. Uh-oh, I think this case finally broke him. Her birthday is July 1st. Her weight is 0.004 kilograms. And her height is a vital 150 centimeters. Would I install a virus like Curry? No! I don't want a virus on my PC, even if it is cute. If you remember, there's a cardboard cutout of Kurapa right next to Mr. C's desk. The defendant can use Kurapa's account, dress up like Prudence Weeks, and even commit murder on camera. But she cannot change her own height. Yeah, you can only really do that actually cosplay-wise in a way that increases your height. Decreasing your height has to be camera trickery. That cutout is life-size, the exact same height as the real Kurapa. Prudence is the only one in the company shorter than it. It is clear that in this image that this Prudence Weeks is quite a bit taller than the Kurapa cutout. I can't tell exactly what height the killer here may be, but I'll wager a guess. 165 centimeters. Is that right, Honor-chan? Honor's shorter than I am. And she seems so tall. That means everyone else is very short. Well, yeah. Kneeling lower and things. I feel like that counts as camera trickery, because you then just take the pictures higher up than the crouching. Please do not intimidate the defendant with your guesses, Prosecutor Truth. Sorry, that wasn't my intention. The court understands that it is impossible to prove the person in this image is in fact Prudence Weeks. Even so, the court does not think Prosecutor Truth has provided enough substantial evidence to prove it was anyone else. What do you think about this, Prosecutor Truth? About that. The prosecution would like to bring up its final witness, who will provide more information about the murder weapon. Can we bring our witness up first? Regarding the murder weapon? Very well, please bring them to the stand. And before we do that, I'm going to get more water because I've run out. I will be right back. And I'm back. Very well, please bring them to the stand. Please state your name and occupation. Prudence Weeks. I'm in charge of merchandising at Lillian Entertainment, and I'm Kirpa's real face. First, I'd like to confirm one thing. At the preliminary hearing, you kept your identity a secret. Why is that? Like I said before, I was threatened on the night of the murder. I didn't know what would happen if I revealed my identity, so I asked Sophie to pose as Curry's real face instead. So, what made you change your mind? 2 reasons. 1, I don't think I'm in any danger anymore. And 2, I don't think any VTuber should be bullied just because they can't reveal their identity. Explain this suspicious person who dumped the murder weapon. Okay, seems this is personal for you now. Let us talk a bit about the murder weapon. Presenting evidence number 31. We've already tested and confirmed that the blood on the hilt and the blade of this tactical knife belongs to the victim. The blade's shape also matches the victim's wound. This knife was found in the dumpster of your apartment complex. Are you aware of this? Yes, I am. On June 3rd in the afternoon, I saw a bunch of police near the dumpsters. While passing by, I heard things like Mr. C and murder weapon. So I realized the murder weapon must have been found near our apartment. How did this make you feel? Scared. At that point, everyone was suspecting Kerbo was the killer, meaning me. I was scared that people thought I did it, and afraid of how crafty the real killer was being. So I started looking into it myself. What did you look into? There's a camera around the dumpsters. I asked our security guard to let me see the footage. I had to go back a few days, but I finally found it. I was going to comment on this height chart back when we saw it last time. I was going to be like, "Ah, someone's kid's growth chart." Thrown out with the trash. But I guess now we can use this to actually measure this person, right? Someone that looked like Sophie threw the knife away in our dumpster. Why would you say it was someone who looked like Sophie? When I first saw it, I thought it really was Sophie. But after thinking about it for a while, I changed my mind. I decided to try and find out who they really were. Coincidentally, there's a big giraffe ruler on the wall by the dumpsters used to measure height. When they passed by it in the footage, it looked like they were 165 centimeters. But Sophie is only 157 centimeters. Wow, Sophie's short. So I figured that proved it wasn't Sophie. Do you have an idea of who it might be then? No, but I kept looking into it. I found a piece of pink hair by the dumpsters and sent it off to a lab for testing. High-temperature filament is a synthetic fibre commonly used to make fake hair. That's what that hair was made of. So, as you can guess, it wasn't real hair. It was fake hair and supports your previous cosplay hypothesis. After that, I asked Detective Hoss to go over and investigate the office for the same thing. She's on the line right now. Please put it on speaker. Okay. Detective Hoss, could you tell everyone what you found? Sure. After receiving Ms. Week's request and searching the office, we found a piece of orange hair. Actually, two types of orange hair. One belongs for human, Prudence Weeks to be exact. The other hair was fake, made of the same material as that pink dumpster hair Ms. Weeks found. This confirms that recently someone wearing fake orange hair was in the office. You've accepted a request from a civilian? She said she'd go on a date with me if I did. I'm really looking forward to it. Hoss! Hoss, that's bribery! A detective dating a murder suspect might incite public outrage. That's fine. I'm a black belt in karate. What's the public gonna do to me? Please submit the fake hair test results as evidence. You got it. Submitting as we speak. We found the real murder weapon. This evidence submitted by the witness tells us a few things. Fake hair made from the same material was found at both the scene of the crime where the murder weapon was dumped. The colours of that hair match Prudence Weeks and Sophie Alliore's own hair. We also have a suspect in this case skilled in cosplaying and using fake hair, someone who also happens to be 165 centimeters tall. That'll be all, Your Honor. It seems we're one step closer to the truth. The defense can now cross-examine the witness. This is the final bout. Prudence Weeks has to lock on her down. I just hope she can do it. I'm ready. Hold it! I think it's time I take the defense back into my own hands. I'll handle the cross-examination, you just rest. Don't worry, I take this responsibility very seriously. Yes! Seems the recent changes in our case have called Zoe Dunn back into action. Ooh. Slow scroll up the judge's face. One after another. Everyone seems to think they can do whatever they want in my courtroom today. It's beneficial for them. It's but my rights this and rights that, and if it's not, crickets. Where's everyone's respect for order and due process? This is a courtroom. You don't get to accuse whoever you want willy-nilly. Has the prosecution and defense figured out who's who yet? That's what I've been wanting to say. However, I've noticed that someone in the room doesn't seem to agree with the decision that's just been made. Isn't that right, Prudence Weeks? I'd like Honor Chen to cross-examine me. Do you know what this means? I'm a weak person. I'm only standing here thanks to a lot of other people. Misty, Sophie, Faye, Prosecutor Truth, Secretary Close, and Detective Haas. And everyone else who's been on my side until now. People I know and people I don't. Everyone who's helped me in their own way at different steps in this crazy process. It's only because of all of them that I'm standing here right now. But now it's my turn to stand up for myself and face off against Mr. C's killer. Prudence Weeks, I leave the decision up to you. Please say aloud once more who you would like to cross-examine you. Honor Chen, whenever you're ready. Isn't my daughter quite the courageous one? You know what happens when you stand up to your father. I think you should understand where you are and what your role is here. You're using height to judge that this person isn't Sophia Lior. How am I supposed to know the ruler is correct? Or that there's not some issue with the angle or blurriness of the image? I'm not only using height. That image was taken on May 21st at 7:17 p.m. At that time, at my request, Sophie was streaming as Kuripa. So it's absolutely impossible that the person in the image is Sophie. You act like it would be impossible to disguise yourself as another person without the aid of fake hair. Is this just your guess, or do you have some way to prove this? I can't prove that. I can't prove the killer wore fake hair, or that the fake hair I found belonged to the killer. I can prove this fake hair made from the same material was found at both the scene of the crime and the place where the murder weapon was thrown out, and the colours matched those caught on camera. Next question, please. How do I know you didn't plant that hair? I was afraid someone would ask that. So I asked a police officer to film me entering the dumpster area for the first time. The video has me finding the hair, sealing it up, and sending it off to be tested. CCTV around the dumpsters can also prove that I didn't enter the area before that. As for the orange hair found in the office, I can only say I never went back to the office since the first time we were questioned by Prosecutor Truth. The entire investigation, including finding the hair, was done by the police. I was never there. How can you prove you were really at home streaming on the night of the murder? There's a pet camera in my room that records voice. On the night of the murder, it recorded me there, streaming. Everything. My voice, my interaction with the fans, me leaving for the bathroom, crying on return and calming myself down before starting the stream back up. It was all recorded. Was that enough to prove that I was streaming that night? You said you received a threatening text. How can I know you didn't send that text to yourself? I don't know Amanda's or your number. Now I can say it. I don't like giving out my number, so it isn't listed in our company contact sheet. Apart from Misty and Mr. C, you're the only other person who knew my number. I used to believe you weren't the killer. I always wished I was as strong and smart as you and secretly felt proud of being your daughter. You were always there to assist me, at work or when I was streaming. A father I could always rely on. Back when Misty told me I shouldn't trust anyone, you were the only one I really didn't want to lose faith in. That's why I never told anyone that you were the only one who knew my phone number. And I can say it now. Apart from Misty and Mr. C, you're the only one who had it. You... Can you forgive me? I'll hate you for the rest of my life. I admit it. I killed him. Phew. Hearing's finally over. It's all done. Unfortunately, there'll be one more hearing. Killer's already confessed, though, so the next one will be easy. It's all thanks to you, Prudence. Please don't make fun of me. I'm not, I'm serious. Everyone could tell you were the main character up there. I've been through a lot of trials. It's rare to see someone who can go toe-to-toe with a killer like that. You'll be meeting up with Sophie Allure later. You haven't seen her since all this started, right? Yeah. I'm pretty nervous. Nervous? Why? Prudence! Aww. More animated CG. You were dating that moron? You should have told me. This must be so hard for you. I can't believe it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I said those things last time. It's okay. It's really okay. Everyone's stupid when they're in love. I don't take it personally. I'm just really sorry about all of this. Sophie? Sophie! Oop. Credits! I gotta say, I think my absolute favourite thing about this game has been those animated CGs we've had today. That's like really cool. Like, it's something I don't think I've seen before. Ah, you've seen it in a gacha, have you? Which gacha game is it? Stellasaura. I don't think I've heard of that one. Oop. Sorry to interrupt. We're here to hang out. Perfect timing, I've been looking for you. Next time, could you not say my name out loud during a concert? Do you know how much hate mail I've been getting? Sorry, I was just excited, I didn't mean it. I thought you guys were all about anonymity. Yeesh. Don't be mad. Any fan would kill to have their name dropped during a concert. But I'm not a fan. Oh yeah? And I guess I can throw out all of your merch? No way, that has sentimental value. So... It sounds like Prosecutor Truth went from not having a clue who VTubers are to having an Oshi. What are you looking at? You brought me a gift, right? Yeah. I asked around and ta-da! You like pudding, right? Whoa, nice haul. The step above Oshi would be Kami Oshi, I believe. That's at least the highest level, I think. Sit, sit, what are you standing for? So, you're in charge of the company now, huh? Yep. Lots happened, but for what it's worth, I had a good time through it all. And there's a lot of new things I want to try, so I figured, why not? I thought Mysterio would be in charge, honestly. Yeah, we talked about that a lot. But she was really upset about not believing Prudence when she needed it the most. I told her it was just a misunderstanding, but she's still torn up about it. Kids. Kids? What are you then, an old soul? Yeah, but my body's nice and young. Wanna see? Ooh, no one wants to see that. Rude. So, has the lawsuit affected you guys? You weren't able to stream for a while. Yeah, it's been good and bad. It's attracted a lot of weirdos, but traffic's gone up. And the old fans are even more loyal than before. I'd say the good outweighs the bad. Yeah, I mean, at least you've got a lot more people who've heard about Kurapa now. And it seems Faye pulled some strings, so Kurapa's identity wasn't exposed after all. Pulled some strings? I probably shouldn't ask. Yeah, you probably shouldn't. Thanks to fan support, I was able to stick it out until the lawsuit ended. Now I really want to pay them back. You VTubers really have a special bond with your fans. Of course. I'm there for them, and they're there for me. I love my fans. Thankfully, neither Curry nor the agency were really to blame for any of this. Otherwise, it would have been worse. Where did Faye get memory erasing stuff for the people in the seats of the courtroom? It's called money. It's called money and a lot of it. Didn't expect to hear you say that. Been around this industry for long enough, and you'll hear a lot of things you don't expect. Human nature is a fickle thing. Who knows what'll happen going forward? Maybe Prudence will suddenly want to quit, or start hating my guts. No way! You're the best, Sophie. Sometimes you really embarrass me. Just say what I think. Anyway, I just wanted to thank you again, just in truth. Thank you for all the support. You're such a stand-up guy. Oop! We got an achievement there. Yeah, thanks. No problem, I was just doing my job. Your main question is, what's Amanda doing? Good question. That better be all you were doing. Secretary Close, would you mind if I taught you a thing or two? Huh? Whoa there, I don't think I want you teaching Emily anything. This is my card, my contact info is... Seriously? Don't say I didn't warn you. I just hope we don't meet again. Huh? As a prosecutor, that's one of the best things I could say. Sure, maybe a normal prosecutor would say that. I'll send you a ticket for my next event, so you better come. Until next time. What have I gotten myself into? The main story has come to an end. There are still 2 side stories, however. We were originally going to release those stories as paid DLC, but then considering the content, we decided we wanted streamers and fans alike to experience them as part of the base game. I am about to send you through time now to just after the first hearing. You'll get insights into things Prosecutor Truth could never have been privy to. Until we meet again! Finally, Sophie's here. Say it, I've waited long enough. Explain yourself. Where should I begin? Of course it's about graduation. I never thought I'd hear about that for the first time in court. Explain yourself now. It was just so much happening at once. I was just thinking maybe changing my environment would be better. Were we not good enough to you? We kept your identity a secret, we always dealt with negative reviews and comments, and definitely gave you a big piece of the monetary pie. What's got you so stressed out then? But Misty, relax. Why? I've always felt a sense of responsibility towards you. I thought I had to take care of you because I'm the one who brought you in. From your very first day, you have only thought about how I could best protect you. And now look, you're the most suspicious one here. I can't believe you're just up and have other plans. Why weren't you happy? It's not that, it's just... I believed in you so much and then you stabbed me in the back? What was I working so hard for? I just feel like a huge idiot. Honestly, as your agent, I'm just sad. If you had thoughts of graduating, why didn't you tell me? Right now, though, there's something else I want to know. Are you the one who asked Mr. C to come to the office that night? No, it wasn't me! I didn't write that! Quit lying! You're the only one who uses that account! I'm telling the truth! I was asleep, I swear! I had a stream that night, why would I even ask him to come? I'm sure you had your ways. I should never have trusted you from the moment I saw you outside the elevator. You guys are unbelievable! Huh? For what? Working our butts off to protect you? You think I didn't work hard? I did everything you asked me to, and then what? You slid me sleeping pills and dumped Molly in a park, then put a knife on my desk? They just made everything worse. I'm still a suspect. Who do you think all of that was for? Sophie, too. Why aren't you the beneficiary of Mr. C's life insurance? Dating him in secret, you're the worst. I bet you're the real killer. Enough! You have to be really selfish to say the kind of crap you're saying right now. Seems like we're not going to get anywhere today. I always told myself no matter what I did, Curry's real face was always my top priority. So, if what you just said is true, I'll be very disappointed in you. Let's go, Misty. I regret inviting you to become a VTuber at Lillian. I'm the one with regrets. Unbelievable. I didn't do anything wrong. I just wanted to live a normal life. Is that so hard? Not be some idol with a secret identity. I've had enough of that. Looking back on it, nothing about it was good. Getting harassed and criticized by fans while simultaneously being put up on a pedestal. I have to be so careful outside, can't even take a photo without looking over my shoulder. I can't share my work with any of my friends, and I don't even have anyone I can vent to. Why was I exhausting myself just to entertain a bunch of strangers? Dealing with my fans was so tiring. They complain if I don't read comments, then say I pick favorites when I do. Seriously, if I say too much to one person, they'll think I'm in love with them or something. How narcissistic and out of touch do you have to be? And everyone lumps on their ridiculous expectations onto me. If I don't fulfill them, they get hostile, yelling at me in the comments, anonymous threats, you name it. And what's even worse is they spread rumors about me all over the internet. Do any of you have freaking brains? I'm a person too, I'm not just some tool for you to abuse just because her own life is miserable. I see, we're seeing why Prudence's attitude changed. What's the real problem here? This all started when I became a VTuber. If I'd never been a VTuber, none of this would have ever happened. Stupid VTubing. Wish I never started. You're a liar. You love it. What? You love having your fans in the palm of your hand. No, I don't. Liar. I know exactly how you think. Who's the one who glowed with joy when she saw all of those super chats on her birthday? Who's the one who giggles when her fans call her a goddess? You live for making some random guy's year just by responding to his dinky little comment. You act like I'm using them. You said it, not me. You know exactly what you're doing. You're lying. You love being a VTuber. The real you is afraid of everything, shy, introverted, and can barely make it through the day. And now you can basically be a celebrity without having to give up your own private identity. All thanks to being a VTuber. Through me, you've gotten to be a new you. You've been able to satisfy all of those desires little Prudence Weeks never could. Otherwise, you'd just be another anonymous fan behind a screen. That's not me! I don't use my own fans to pump up my ego. But you do. Stop lying to yourself. Admit it. You like being a VTuber. You like that feeling of being so close yet so far away from your fans. I don't. I worked hard for everything I have. Do you realize how difficult it was? How much I was wronged? How much I had to grin and bear it? I tried so hard to make all my fans happy. So hard. So quit putting words in my mouth. You're not me and you'll never be me. You're nothing but a mask I used to get people to like me. As long as you know. You're right. I am a mask you used to get people to like you. But what's wrong with that? Eh? Do you remember your first stream? You were well prepared, you rehearsed, you even answered mock questions from fans. At first it was okay, but then slowly, their reactions weren't what you thought they'd be. Some of your jokes didn't get any laughs. You couldn't give good answers to some of their questions. You panicked and they saw that. You worried about wasting time. You worried your fans would think you're boring. You made an irredeemable mistake. You did a bad job. But some people stayed. They were nice. They supported you. They made you feel like you weren't worthless. Slowly, you learned how to make them laugh. You understood what they wanted to see. You found that perfect distance to maintain. You struck a balance between your real self and your online self. And then I was born. I was a mask you created to appease your fans. But who says someone needs flesh and blood to be real? Really, every living person wears a mask. They need one to survive. And if you need a mask to survive, then why not learn to accept it, to coexist with it? I am you. I am a part of you. Don't hate me. Don't hate yourself. Don't shut me out. Don't shut yourself out. Let me be your strength. Ah. This is what led up to that stream. So annoying. Can you not be so nice to me? Not now. Not when I want to quit. Bring it on then. Cootie cootie! I'm the Curva. Let's get ready to roll. Feeling a little better? I still can't accept it. To think I actually trusted her. It really does feel like getting stabbed in the back. I want to tell everything to the police. Misty, maybe you should think about it a little more. Why? She doesn't believe us anyway. She even told Bossman to go to the office. I bet she's even the one who killed him. But if she's not the killer, then we're walking right into the real killer's trap. Isn't this exactly what Operator A wanted to happen? And everything Prudence was just saying was just a little weird. Like she was jealous over a boy or something. Surprise stream? Loses an argument and then goes and whines to her fans. Pathetic. That prosecutor sure is fast. I'm answering the phone. Misty, wait. Don't answer it. Why not? They already know I'm not the real face, and I don't think Amanda and Honor can hold off for much longer. If you and Faye answer the phone, Prudence will be totally on her own. Give me a reason to help her. Listen, Prudence can be stubborn and selfish, but I don't hate her. That's how I feel about after being her agent for 2 years. You've known her longer than me, though, so maybe you're the better judge. That's all I have to say. Hello, Secretary Close? Yeah, I saw it. Prudence went back to her room. Seems like she's starting up. Yeesh, had me in a cold sweat just now. Anna-chan, seems like you just saved your own life. Waiting room's up. Should I throw up a super chat, boss? Yes. Need me to write it up? No, I'll do this one. Should we answer if that prosecutor calls? We don't get a signal here. Sorry, my head's a little fuzzy. How long till we touch down? About 2 hours. Tell the pilot to fly faster. Got it. Oop, that was side story 1. So, have you figured it out yet? This game has been a play within a play. And we three have been acting with you, together up on stage. We also sincerely hope you've enjoyed your time playing Prosecutor Truth. Yeah, no signal but Wi-Fi, right? My last few phones, or at least my last 2 phones, for sure, have all had the ability to do Wi-Fi calling. If you have Wi-Fi, you should be able to answer a phone call. Play within a play? Maybe that was a bit too vague. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Semiotics, but everyone calls me Semi. I'm the creator and writer of this game. We three are part of the Lillian theatre troupe, Shape and Colour. This time, of course, we decided to interpret the real face of a Vtuber, not as a play, but through the medium of video game. I'm sure you have many questions to ask, so how about you ask and we answer? Oh gosh. Well, let's start from the beginning. From your perspective, Lillian is a game developer, right? For us, Lillian is the name of our school. It's actually part of our school rules to use the name Lillian for any creative outfit in our productions. That's why we called the main company in our production Lillian Entertainment. I don't know why our school has this rule, but I suppose every school has its quirks. Play within a play. I suppose because we three are also fabricated, then our world, that of the Lillian School of Theatre, constitutes the first layer of this play. And then the real face of the VTuber, the game which our fictional theatre troupe has produced, is the second layer. That's why you, as a real-life human being, have been experiencing a play within a play, a fictional world within a fictional world. If that's too confusing for you, then think of our current location as behind the scenes, the developer's chair, so to speak. Alright, Shape and Colour? Shape and Colour is the name of our theatre troupe. I'm its president, even though there's only 3 of us. Why did we pick that name? It's because performing a play requires its actors to take on a myriad of different shapes, painting each shape with different colours. Alright, the real face of a VTuber. Even though it's a play within a play, we still wanted it to be a world that could stand on its own. You have to believe in its existence even without knowing about us. So, every character has their own story and experiences their own growth. In the side stories, you'll be able to experience a bit of Honor Shen's past and childhood. Why would a human kill another human? We hope to provide a unique perspective on that question. Now, if you haven't already, please remember to watch our side stories. Alright, actors. Right, let me introduce you to Shape and Colour's members. First, there's myself, Semiotics. I play Amanda Childs, Prudence Weeks, and Emily Close. Hello, I'm Colour. I play Sophia Lior, Mysterio, and Zoe Dunn. My name is Metaphysics. I play Honor Chen, Faye Ward, and Detective Hoss. Did you notice how we rarely let 2 of our characters on the stage at the same time? When investigating, Emily Close barely had any lines. That was all on purpose. So you noticed? In a couple of scenes, 2 characters from the same actor did appear at once. Actually, we have 2 groups of actors always available. How should I explain this? Maybe we can just show him? Hey, Semi number 2, come here for a second. Eh? Hey, it's me, Semiotics number 2. Thank you, and now we take our leave. You get the idea. Colour has some abilities I don't fully understand, kind of like how I've been able to realise that my own existence is a fabrication. We've also considered putting up a cardboard cutout of the other character, if 2 had to appear at the same time. Like this. In the end, however, we decided that revealing our play within a play concept too early would only confuse you, so we asked Colour to lend her services as the other us. I mean, it's still confusing me, but sure. The judge. The judge is actually one of our teachers. We asked him because we needed the character to have some authority. I hope you at least found the whole thing moderately endearing. Actually, that whole thing with him dipping his glasses down was improvised. It wasn't originally like that. I was a bit surprised, actually. I didn't know he could be so commanding. Mr. C. Mr. C was just a stuffed toy. We needed a victim, but it'd be a waste to have a real person come and play a dead guy, so we just used a toy. We also didn't want the murder to be too realistic and gruesome, which is why we injected a bit of comedy into the whole thing. Lastly, we didn't want the suspects to get overly angry or upset. But then some people thought we made the characters unbelievable. It's truly difficult to strike a healthy balance sometimes. Script challenges. An initial challenge was that the antagonist was too strong. Initially we had Honor Chen committing a perfect crime. She was calm, cool and collected, never letting her guard down. As such, I had a hard time designing the way the protagonist could defeat her. It made me think, it can actually be quite difficult for good to overcome evil. But I suppose that's what makes staying on the righteous path so precious, so vital. Writing the court scenes was also headache-inducing. At first we spent time combing over similar court-themed video games, but I realised they weren't conducive to a prosecutor protagonist. As such, we threw out everything we had and started researching how hearings actually worked. Actual courtroom procedure is incredibly complex, so we simplified it a great deal and greatly reduced the risk of failure. I hope all of our efforts have made court fun for you. Thoughts on your characters. How do we feel about our characters? Who do you want to ask about? Oh gosh. Oh, no. No, I'm just trying to scroll up in here. Amanda. The three main characters are all loosely based upon their actor. Amanda Childs, for example, is basically me. Amanda Childs is probably the least fleshed out character in the game, but she's kind and goes above and beyond to protect her daughter, even though she doesn't know her identity. After the stream in Chapter 2, she's able to accurately guess a lot of what's going on. I love how pure and hard-working she is. Oh yeah, and I don't really care that much about my height, truly. Okay, Sophie. I find Sophie Elliot's story really emotional. How she gives it her all to protect the real face. She knows posing as Caripa's real face might get her accused of murder, but she never wavers. She sticks by the real face in every timeline, which is what I admire about her. Whether I'm actually like Sophie in real life, well, you can use your imagination. Honor. It's hard to describe Honor's personality. It took me a while to get it right. She's a cold-hearted killer who pretends to be a loving father. Two conflicting stances. It took me a while to realize that loving father is what she wishes she could be. Her ideal persona. After realizing that, everything was a lot easier. If you haven't watched her side story yet, I suggest you do. I won't spoil it for you here. Prudence Weeks. Prudence experienced two evolutions during the story. The first time was after Chapter 4's surprise stream, when she integrated with the fury she'd harboured for so long and began to learn how to stand up for herself. The second was after Prosecutor Truth unveiled her identity, when she realised her imperfect self could still be loved. This all gave her the strength to stand up to Honor at the end. I really love that scene. Misty. Misty is smart but traumatised, scared of being betrayed and wary of trusting others. She was in a lot of mental pain after learning her old friend was killed, but kept it inside in order to protect Caripa's real face. Unfortunately, Honor knew about and took advantage of her trauma and fear of betrayal, making her slowly turn against the real face. Towards the end of the story, Misty began to deeply mistrust herself. She's a truly sad, fragile character. Faye. At first I thought Faye would be tough to play, but after rehearsing a few times, I realised she was actually pretty easy. She plays by her own rules, barely giving Prosecutor Truth a second thought the whole time. If she wants to do something, she just goes and does it. That said, I find it a bit sad that Faye never really shows her true self. She always has her walls up. Emily. Emily is a supporting character, playing the archetypical assistant to Prosecutor Truth. She has feelings for Justin, so she obviously dislikes Sophie. There was actually originally a scene where she interrogated Sophie, but we ended up cutting it out. At least their relationship improves a bit by the end. Zoe. In the first draft of the script, Zoe Dunn's character was looking for a boyfriend and liked going to speed dating and singles mixes, etc. But since she only appears in the courtroom, we mainly just see her being a strong direct defense attorney. Still, we do get snippets of her complaining about her pay being low and being overworked and being single, but she keeps working hard and never threatens to quit her job. So in that way, she's kind of a pushover. And Hoss. Detective Hoss is the same as Emily Close in that she's just a supporting character. She's relatively simple-minded and likes to bother cute girls. That said, sometimes rays of ingenuity and quick thinking shine through, and I really like those little moments. Okay, we've asked about everyone. Back. We've asked about everything. Quit. You're leaving? If you ever need me, I'll be on the hints page. There's also an honor-focused side story talking all about her past and reasons for committing murder. You can find it in the chapters page. It's only around 10 minutes long, but it does contain one final twist. If you enjoyed watching our game, we hope you can buy it and support us. That side story is an extra little surprise for anyone who owns the game. This is the one that I'm not allowed to stream. With that said, if you've watched this all the way to the end, you should probably donate, huh? Playing narrative games can be super tiring, you know? And if your streamer read all the lines in different voices, you gotta give a little extra. And if you learned about this game from a VTuber, remember to tell us who it was. We'd love to know everybody's favourites. Now I have to step out for a bit. I'll see you next time. Press the donate button, I don't have one. Alright. Well, with that done, that means we are now done. Because I'm not allowed to stream that last side story, and if you want to see what it is for yourself, there is a link to buying the game in the description box of the video. So, yes, thank you very much for coming. It's been fun. If you're new here and you've enjoyed your time, please consider subscribing to the channel. You can also follow me on social media, which is also linked in the description box. Yeah, it was quite interesting to have a behind the scenes with the devs basically at the end of the game. That was pretty cool. Yes, the streaming schedule for this channel goes up both over on social media and over here on YouTube in the post tab of the channel, and also technically on the card webpage that is linked in the description as well. You can just like bookmark that page and just find the schedule really easily. Assuming I keep remembering to update it. Where was I? Yes, schedule. This was the last scheduled stream of this week, so there will be a new schedule up later tonight. The next scheduled stream will be tomorrow, Monday, and we're going to try and finish up Love Limit. So I hope to see you then or another time. Once again, thank you very much for coming, and this is Kalla signing out. See ya, bye bye.